So our goal of this unit and this lesson actually is to evaluate an expression using the order of operations. So first, what is an expression? An expression is a combination of numbers and variables and operation symbols. So operation symbols are your add, subtract, multiply, and divide. And expressions do not have equal signs, okay? No equal signs. If it has an equal sign, that's called an equation, which will be our next unit. So order of operations, this is how we're going to evaluate these expressions. So you might have learned this as PEMDAS or GEMDAS. I like to use G for grouping because we have more than just parentheses for grouping symbols. We have parentheses that everyone knows. We have brackets. We have also our big fraction bar. So this is called our fraction bar. And it's like a big one. We'll see it in some of the examples on the other page. Next, we have exponents. So if we have 2 to the third power. That 3 is an exponent. So hopefully you've seen exponents before. Next, we have multiply, divide. And remember, these are done from left to right. So it doesn't matter if the multiplying is at the end of the expression and the dividing is at the beginning. You always go left to right like you're reading. Same thing with add and subtract. So sometimes the subtraction might be at the beginning of your equation. Remember, do them left to right and you won't make any mistakes. So just a little bit reminder of exponents. Exponents are a shortcut way of writing multiplication. So when we're doing these problems, we have to be really careful of our grouping symbols. So 2 to the fourth, that is the same as saying 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. So 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, that is 16. Okay, negative 2 to the fourth. Well, our 2 to the fourth, so we have that negative out front. Then we have 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. So this would be negative 16. Now we have negative 2 to the fourth. So see how that negative is in the parentheses? Now we know we can carry that negative with all of these. So we have negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2, which would give us positive 16 again. So paying attention to those grouping symbols, those parentheses, can really make a difference in your answers. So look at the difference between these two answers. Okay, same thing over here. We have negative 2 cubed, so 1 negative up front, and then 2 times 2 times 2, because only the 2 is being multiplied 3 times. So this would be negative 8. But now we have negative 2. So negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2. We would have negative 8 still. So in that case, it didn't change the answer, but it is important to note your negatives, because it could change it. It could determine your answer to be different. Okay? So write the following exponential expressions as repeated multiplication, then evaluate. So repeated multiplication is just expanding. So we have negative 3 times negative 3 times negative 3 times negative 3. Now evaluate. We have negative 3 times negative 3 times negative 3 times negative 3. So we get positive 81. Okay, because these negatives turn to a positive and these negatives turn to a positive. Okay, next one. No parentheses, we only have 1 negative, but our 3 is going to be expanded. So in this case, this is negative 81. And then our final one, we have 3 halves times 3 halves. If you forgot how to multiply your fractions, you multiply the numerator and then you multiply the denominator. So 3 times 3 would be 9 on the top. 2 times 2 is 4 on the bottom. So 9/4. So remember, if it is negative in the grouping symbol, it means the base is the power is negative. If the negative is in front of the number, then it means the answer is negative. Okay, now we're going to be practicing using our order of operations to simplify the following expressions, and then we need to show our work. So I know it's not everyone's favorite thing, but important thing is showing our work in these problems. So using our order of operations, in this problem we have only subtraction, which remember is done left to right. So first one, we have 5 minus 6, that's -1. Carry down our -2. 5, -1 minus 2, that is -3. Okay. Next problem. Again, in this problem, we have a division and multiplication. So we go left to right. So 8 divided by 2 is 4. So 4 times 2 is 8. Next one, so we have subtraction, multiplication, and an exponent. So first thing we're going to do is our exponent. So 3 squared is 9. And bring everything else down. Now do our multiplication. So -2 times 9 is -18. Bring down the 20. 20 minus 18 is 2. So see how I'm only doing one thing at a time. One thing at a time, okay? Next one, number 7. So we have 7 minus 3 times 4 minus 2. So first thing we're going to do is our grouping symbols. So inside the grouping symbols, we have 4 minus 2, which is 2. Okay, then we have 7 minus 3. Well, what do we put here? What's happening right here? Well, what's happening is actually a multiplication. So that 3 is actually being multiplied by the 4 minus 2. So now we have multiplication. So that's next. So 7, 3 times 2 is 6. 7 minus 6, that is 1. Let's move this up a bit so we can fit it all in a row. There. Just want to fit it when I save this as a PDF. Okay, number 8. So again, first thing we're going to do, we have some grouping symbols. Is there anything happening inside there? No. So next thing we're going to do is the exponent. So this is 4 minus 3, and then we have 2 cubed, which is 8. And then what's happening right here again? That's multiplication. So we have 3 times 8, that's 24. So 4 minus 24. 4 minus 24, that's -20. Okay, next one, we have 2 sets of grouping symbols. So we always do the innermost grouping symbol. So 5 minus 3 is 2. So we have 1 minus 4 minus 2. Now we'll do our brackets. So we have 1 minus 4 minus 2 is 2. 1 minus 2, negative 1. Okay, flip the page. So here is what I was talking about, that big fraction bar. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the top of the fraction bar and the bottom of the fraction bar separately, and then at the end you do your division. So first thing we're going to do is this top part. So we have 2 times 25 minus 10 over 4. Now we'll do this inside part. So 4 minus 9 minus 5. So see how I did one thing on each part of our fraction bar. Now we're going to do our multiplication. So on the top, we're going to do 2 times 25, so that's 50 minus 10 over, and then we'll do one thing on the bottom, 4 minus 9, negative 5 minus 5. Now we'll do one more thing, so 50 minus 10, that is 40. On the bottom, we have negative 5 minus 5, that's negative 10. Now, final thing, okay, these fraction bars equals division. So 40 divided by negative 10, that's negative 4. Okay. Number 11. So we have some grouping symbols. So we have brackets, and then we have parentheses. So always start with the innermost grouping. So, oops. Inside our innermost grouping, we have 4 times 2. So we have 5 minus 8. I'm just bringing everything else down. Now, do again our most inner grouping. 5 minus 8, that's negative 3. Now, do our brackets. So we 5 cubed minus 4, 9 plus a negative 3 gives us 6. Okay, remember, what does this change to? Well, those brackets, remember that's multiplication that's happening right in here. That's multiplication when it's side by side like that. Okay, next, we got rid of all of our grouping symbols. Now we can move on to the exponents. So 5 cubed is 125 minus 4 times 6. Now we'll do our multiplication. 125 minus 24. 125 minus 24 is 101. I know it's a lot of steps, but when you take it one at a time, it ends up being not so bad. Like at the beginning, it looks really scary, but if you do it just step by step using your order of operations, you'll go through it. Number 12. So right now we have exponents. So what we're going to do is do our first exponent. We have negative 3 squared. So we have negative 9 plus negative 2 cubed. Okay, now do our next exponent, so negative 9. Negative 2 cubed is actually negative 8. So negative 9 plus negative 8, that is negative 17. Okay, our next one. So we have, let's look at this. Well, what does this mean again? That is actually multiplication. So remember, this is 8 times 5. times, okay, so 8 times 5, well, that's 40. And then what does this mean? Well, remember, that's our division symbol. Okay, so we have 40 times 7, okay? So this is like dividing, that's that fraction bar, and this one is multiplying. Times 7, and then plus 6. Then 40 times 7 is 280. Plus 6, 280 plus 6 is 286. Okay, last problem. So remember, first thing we want to do is that grouping. So big fraction bar is technically a grouping symbol. So what we're going to do is we're going to do our grouping symbol first. We have 27 over 2 plus 3 is 5 plus 4 minus 4 squared. 27 over 5 plus 4, well, that's 9 minus 4 squared. 27 divided by 9, well, that is 3 minus 4 squared. Okay, so we got rid of our grouping symbol. Now we do our exponent. So 4 squared is 16. So we have 3 minus 16. And 3 minus 16 is negative 13. Okay, that is the end of section 1.1.